So we shall now move on to our third lecture from Dr. Karen Brasel. She is Professor of Surgery for the Division of Acute Care Surgery, General Surgery Resident Program Director, Vice Chair of Education and Professional Development, and Assistant Dean for Graduate Medical Education at the Oregon Health Science University. Dr. Brasel received her medical degree from the University of Iowa, completed her surgical residency and master's degree in public health at the University of Minnesota, and went on to complete a surgical critical care fellowship at the University of North Carolina. Dr. Brasel is a nationally renowned leader in many aspects of surgery, including her role as ACS Committee on Trauma, ATLS Subcommittee Chair, and International Director of the ATLS. She served 2 years as Chair of the Curriculum Committee for the Association of Surgical Education and received the Association for Surgical Education Master Educator Award in 2020. She has served in several committees for the American Association for the Surgery of Trauma, currently as Chair of the Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion Committee, and recently as Chair of the Critical Care Committee and member of the Board of Managers. She has also served on the Executive Committee of the American College of Surgeons Board of Governors, was a Senior Director of the American Board of Surgery, and is a member of the Board of Directors of the Association for Program Directors in Surgery. She is a test committee representative to the National Board of Medical Examiners and a member of the U.S. MLE Management Committee. In 2019, she was appointed to the ACGME Review Committee for Surgery and was named Associate Editor of the Journal of Surgical Education. So let's have Dr. Karen Brasel with her lecture, The Mentor as a Leader, Shaping People and Building Teams. Karen?
Hello, my name is Karen Brasel. I'm a professor and assistant dean in the Department of Surgery at Oregon Health Science University in Portland, Oregon. I'm happy to share with you my thoughts today on the mentor as leader, shaping people and building teams. When you look up the definition of mentor or mentorship, what you find is that it is to teach or to give advice. It comes from Greek mythology in that mentor was entrusted by Odysseus to teach and to shepherd his son Telemachus through life. Turns out it was Athena and not Mentor who succeeded in this task. Nonetheless, the definition persists. Now, what do you think about when you see this turtle? You might think that the turtle is slow. You might think that the turtle is protected because of its shell. You might not give much thought to this turtle who is where they should be on a rocky beach. What do you think of when you see this turtle? Many people think, this turtle is not where it belongs. I would encourage you to think somewhat differently and to think, this turtle had help to get to where they wanted to be. This turtle was mentored to get to where they wanted to be. And more than just one mentor, one of the most important concepts that I think has come out in the study of leadership and mentorship is the idea of mentorship teams. Mentorship teams, by definition, have more than one member. The members of a mentorship team can rotate on and off as the needs of the person being mentored change. And the team is assembled to address specific needs. In an academic setting, or even outside of academics, it's ideal if a mentorship team is made up of people from that are not all from the same place, so that they can provide different and diverse perspectives that all have the mentees well-being and career advancement at heart. Having scheduled meetings as a mentorship team is beneficial, and the mentee may also benefit by having scheduled meetings with individual members of the mentorship team. One of the purposes of this team is to hold the mentee accountable so that in subsequent meetings, progress can be tracked. Did you apply for this grant? Have you worked on your marketing so that you will be able to make this particular part of your practice something that you can develop and can become known for? So the team provides advice, but the team also holds the mentee accountable over the course of time. One of the other things that has come out that is quite important in the area of mentorship and leadership is the idea of sponsorship. Unlike mentorship, which is a longer term relationship that has regularly scheduled meetings or interactions, that has an agenda, and that is looking at the overall growth and career advancement, sponsorship is much briefer. It can be ongoing in that a sponsor can recommend or sponsor a person multiple times, but oftentimes it is just a single interaction or a single sponsorship. It can be visible or invisible. You might know the person who sponsored you, but you might not know that person, and that person might know one of your mentors, and your mentor has asked for sponsorship. The person that you see on the screen is Olga Jonassen, who is the first female chair of an academic surgical department in the United States. And she took the idea of sponsorship very seriously, and along with a core group of women, made it their mission to sponsor women for committees, to ask women to write papers with them, to sponsor women for promotion, and to recommend women for other career positions. Sponsorship is centered around those specific actions. It is less on global career development, but more on these time-limited or single-time specific actions, and can be very, very important and very valuable in career advancement. So I'm going to move from mentorship to leadership in a team. And there is a very specific change that happens when you contrast mentorship, which is all about an individual person, and leadership of a team, which should not be about a specific person and definitely should not be about the leader, but it is about the goal, the mission, the values of that team. It's not important who is leading this team or who is piloting this rocket ship. What is important is that the rocket gets to where it needs to go, that the team accomplishes its goals and values. So what are some of the characteristics of a high-functioning team? Well, servant leadership. Again, it's not about who the leader is. It's not about how charismatic the leader is. It's not about how many titles the leader has. It is about, can that leader serve the team? Can that leader serve the vision? Can that leader enable the team to accomplish the tasks set in front of it? It's important that the team have a shared vision. So the vision has to be articulated, and the steps on how to accomplish that vision have to be articulated. The team's got to trust one another. They've got to trust that when a team member takes on a task, that that task has got to be done. They've got to trust that if it seems like the team is getting off track, that the team members are going to speak up and that they feel as though their opinions are valued. Teams have to have accountability, and by that, responsibility and authority. The team leader can't check every single step that the team takes. The team leader has to trust that the team members have the resources to be able to do their jobs and will accomplish their tasks without being micromanaged, which goes also to decentralization. Flat hierarchies work much better than significant vertical hierarchies. And very importantly, teams have to be diverse. That's not just visible diversity, and it is importantly diversity of thought and diversity of experience. So everybody can bring their experience to the table in order to make the best decisions. It's very, very clear that the best teams have diverse memberships so that creativity is enhanced and the ability to reach a team's goals is enhanced. So as you're building your team, what do you want to get that high functioning team? Well, you want team members who are willing and able to disclose their opinions. You want meetings that are productive. If you're not going to have a productive meeting, it's better to cancel the meeting. You want team members who know their weaknesses and who ask for feedback and development about their weaknesses. And you want team members who are aligned with the mission of the team. If a team member is not aligned, it doesn't mean they're not talented. It doesn't mean they're not valuable. It does mean they're probably not the best fit for the particular team and the particular task at hand. So thinking about developing a team, one of the things that can be helpful is looking at a Jahari window. So if you look at the upper left-hand corner, those are things that you know about yourself and things that your team knows. That's public information. If you look at the upper right-hand corner, those are things that your team might know about you, but you don't know about yourself. And in order to unmask that blind area or that the area that has things that you don't know, you need to be willing to ask for feedback. If you look at the bottom left-hand corner, things that other people don't know, but things that you do know, if you disclose those things to your team, things that are appropriate and work relevant, that is a way to establish trust and establish a safe place for sharing opinions. So asking for feedback unmasks the upper right. Disclosing things about the way you work, about some of the things that you are working on, some of your blind spots, disclosing those unmasks that lower left and helps to establish that trust in the team. And then there's things that other people don't know and you don't know. That corner is impossible to get to. So that the Jahari window, and thinking about the Jahari window, is one way to make teams function better. There are other tools that you can use. Little things matter. I start off meetings with 3 things that I'm grateful for. I take minutes. Minutes allow me to hold myself accountable as the leader, and also helps the team hold itself accountable. Sending out an agenda, asking for additions to the agenda, and making it very clear which items on the agenda are action items, and then staying on time. I also find that icebreakers are another way to help engender trust. A little bit of personal sharing, not deeply personal, but a little bit of personal sharing. These are some example questions. And then I don't always debrief. In fact, most of the time I don't debrief as a group. It takes a lot of time and may not be necessary. But even just a little bit of getting to know one another, getting to know an aspect of one another, particularly as teams come together and are newly formed. This is another tool that you have, a little more focused on the feedback if you think about the Jahari window. And this is, unlike the icebreakers, which are for teams that are starting to come together, this is an exercise for a team that has been together for a little while. And this exercise asks each team member to answer 2 questions about each group member. What are the qualities of that team member that most contribute to the strength of the team? And what is the quality that might either detract from the strength of the team or might deserve a little attention and strengthening? Then as the leader, you ask for the responses, and then after you've gotten feedback about your behavioral qualities, you can work through the rest of the team. Very, very important as the leader to model accepting feedback, thanking the team for that feedback, and summarizing how you are going to take the feedback that you receive to help the team function in a better way as you go forward. These are the top 5 mistakes that I see in mentorship and leadership. From a mentorship standpoint, not understanding the time and the effort that it really takes to be a good mentor. If you don't have the time and aren't able to expend the effort, it's better to say no. I'm not able to mentor you at this time. I'd be happy to sponsor you for some things, maybe in a year or 2, or maybe in 6 months, we can talk again. Thinking both from the mentee and the mentor side that this is a permanent relationship. It may be. Some mentors turn into great friends and continue to be mentors and sponsors throughout a mentee's career, but it doesn't have to be that way. And if it doesn't happen, if a permanent relationship or a long-term relationship doesn't happen, it doesn't mean that the relationship is a failure. Ascribing emotional attachment to that relationship is tied into the permanence aspect. This is a career development and a professional relationship. There may be a friendship component, but there doesn't have to be for it to be a positive relationship. Thinking that team leadership is about the leader is a very, very big and common mistake. It's about the team and it's about the goal. And also, a team should not prioritize comfort. You want the team to have trust, but sometimes trust means that there will be some uncomfortable conversations that need to happen, either about the goal itself, but more often about the optimal way to get to the goal and some of the boundaries that need to be set about team behavior. So comfort isn't always the most important thing in discussing a team and in discussing a high functioning team. Diverse, opinionated people are sometimes going to make each other uncomfortable. They shouldn't make, it shouldn't be something that is negative. It should be something that is viewed positively and with a growth mindset. So when you think about a successful mentor, look at where their mentees go and look at what their mentees do. And when you think about a successful leader, think about what their teams accomplish. So in summary, what I hope to have highlighted is the importance of mentorship teams, not just of mentorship, as well as the importance of sponsorship and the difference between sponsorship and mentorship. From a leadership standpoint, the highest functioning teams have leaders that practice servant leadership, and in addition to focusing on the task, they spend time on the team so that the team is optimally constructed and able to attain their goal. Thank you very much for your time and attention.